Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-April 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Pisces. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. Also, totally fine whenever you find this video a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month, you'll find it when you need it, Pisces. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me really greatly when you subscribe, and also you'll be notified when I post new videos. Typically post a couple Pisces videos a month. With that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. In column number 2, we're going to take a look at general April, what's happening through the end of the month. We're going to do a money column, a love column. In our 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing crystal, and a healing note for you. So let's take a look here, pull a summary card for what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card preservation. Likely some of you have been preserving your energy, your time, your efforts these last few weeks. But let's see, oh geez. Let's see what messages I can do for you. I just realized we were like not in the frame here. Sorry, Pisces. Should be a little bit better there. Okay. The first card that we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. You also could have been getting recognized or kind of being in the spotlight there with that big star at the top. The definitely renewal and hope are standing out pretty strong there. The next card that we have is the Hermit card. The Hermit card is about going within for clarity. It's being on a quest for personal truth. It's like spiritual illumination. This light that you see here is the light that's within you. So this is about making sure you're on your own path. You're serving your own higher purpose. Then at the bottom here we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a card of newness. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Cups, this is typically new baby, relationship, proposal, or marriage. So some of you could have been finding out that you're having a baby, or there could be a new relationship, new love interest, marriage, or proposal that happened for you in the last few weeks. But let's clarify this column and see what other messages we get here. The first card that we have is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a card sometimes having to feel like you're making a compromise, but I feel like more so there was a decision that happened these last few weeks, and because of this decision you do have that renewal, you do have that hope, you have that preservation too. Then we have the Hermit on top of the Hermit. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know I love when this happens. It's my favorite thing when we have the same card twice. It's like the world or the universe being like, I said what I said, I meant what I meant. So again, this is kind of going within to find that clarity, making sure that you are on your own path, on your own quest. So definitely some self-exploration that's happened the last few weeks, Pisces. Then at the bottom here we have the Star card, so almost same spot. So again, renewal, hope, inner clarity, and that's paired with that new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. So this new relationship or this new love item I do think is part of the reason that you're getting this hope, inner clarity, renewal. But overall good spread for the last few weeks. It seems very, very meaningful, Pisces. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is in general what's going to happen through the end of April. We have the card Stretch. Stretch is an interesting card, and quite frankly, it just means that things may take a little bit more effort than they usually do. Things will be a reach, a push, a stretch. But let's see what messages we get from this. The first card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. I describe this card as small bumps in the road. So if you look at this card, they're fighting with wands, they aren't fighting with swords. But again, it is like small bumps in the road, so things might not go quite as planned. There will be a few obstacles going into the end of April, or a few challenges perhaps that we weren't expecting. The next card that we have is the Two of Swords. We had the Two of Swords earlier as well. I do feel like because of these Five of Wands, these small bumps in the road, certain things will feel like a compromise. So again, it's just not exactly the way we wanted it to be. I think you're still going to have a really good outcome, still going to have a successful end of April. Things just won't be quite the way you were expecting it to be, and could potentially somewhat feel like a compromise. The next card that we have is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It could be gifts or reunions as well. You see this one person is handing the other person a cup with a flower in it. So you could be having an unexpected gift. I do think some of you could be reflecting on some things as well. And for some of you, definitely there could be a reunion between you and another person. Typically an unexpected reunion. Let's clarify and see what other messages we have for this column. The first card that we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a card typically of a really positive relationship. So think Prince or Princess Charming, romance, proposal. This is like truly the knight in shining armor type card. So there could be some minor bumps or conflicts with your love interest, so just keep that in mind. Whether you're single, in a relationship, in a new relationship, married, again, there could be small bumps in the road happening here. Maybe things just don't play out exactly the way you had hoped. The next card that we have is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is typically not a very good relationship, and this is feeling separate from that Knight of Cups type card, but the Five of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, abusive relationship. So some of you could find yourself in a situation where you're not a very good relationship. It could be friendship, it could be coworker, it could be family member. And I feel like that is directly tied with that compromise. Like this other person isn't serving you well, so there is some sort of compromise that's happening this month. So do be cautious of that. Make sure you're taking care of yourself there, Pisces. And then again, we have the Ace of Cups, so you have side-by-side Ace of Cups here, so echoing that message of new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. So two really good love cards here, a not very good relationship card in the middle, but again, I don't know that these are connected to each other, just generally speaking. And with this Ace of Cups, if you are single and going into a new relationship, it very well could be somebody from the past, especially because this is the reunion card. So do just keep that in mind. But I do feel like this new, if you are going into a new relationship, or let's say you're getting engaged or getting married, I feel like you're being showered in gifts. Again, whether it's new relationship, maybe it's a baby shower, finding out that you're having a baby. But I do feel like you're being showered in gifts as it relates to that Six of Cups there. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Anything with money, Pisces. The first card that we have is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is an interesting card. It's typically a card of low feelings. If you look at this person, they're dressed in all black, their head is hanging low, they're facing away from us. They're essentially like grieving those three cups on the front of the card that have spilled there. It's a card of loss, regret, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. So as it relates to money or your job, there does seem to be some low feelings this month. We'll see if we can clarify. I feel like it is likely like a work conflict, so like a conflict with your boss or a conflict with your coworker that kind of has you down, but let me look into that card a little bit more for you. The next card that we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of tradition. It's very conventional. It's a card of expectations and conformity. I feel like maybe you want to be more creative and things are very black and white and you don't have that flexibility. That could be some of that low feeling too. Some of you like maybe want more responsibility but haven't been able to gain more responsibility. Things are feeling very rigid, to say the least, but of course we'll clarify that card as well. Then at the bottom here we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is typically a not very good relationship or interaction. So this could be like a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. So again, I do feel like there is a coworker or boss conflict, something related to work, possibly related to that theft, betrayal, dishonesty, maybe somebody not doing what they said they were going to be doing. But let's clarify this column and see what other messages we can get. You do have very good clarifying cards, all good money cards coming through on the top there, but let's read through these one by one. We have the Knight of Pentacles to start with. This is a very reliable, hardworking, patient person in Pisces. This is going to be you that's the Knight of Pentacles. Again, I feel like some of you aren't being appreciated or trusted or like given the freedom. It feels really rigid, and it's like you've done all the right things and they still don't quite trust you, or you still aren't being given opportunities that you deserve. The next card, though, is the Knight of Cups, which is good to have anywhere in the spread. The Knight of Cups is a card of wishes coming true, material abundance. Love and material abundance, obviously that's a money card in our money column. So that's going to be good news for you, Pisces. And I feel like if you do want more responsibility or want to break away from the conformity or want to be able to be more creative, this is saying that there is potential there. Again, I'm not sure why it hasn't happened yet, but continue to focus on what you want, continue to be you, continue to push forward, and all of those good things will continue to come to you, especially money with that material abundance card. At the bottom, we have the Emperor card. The Emperor card is a card of respect, leadership, strategic planning. I like this card typically when it comes to money because, again, this is like long-term money when we see this. So as a general money card, this is good. It is on top of the Seven of Swords. And that's that card of like theft, betrayal, dishonesty. And it's almost like whatever this event happened is making you much smarter now, Pisces. Obviously, it doesn't feel good now. We had the Five of Cups, which are those low feelings. The Seven of Swords incident or person is typically not a good feeling. But this has made you smarter. This has made you a better planner. There's going to be more respect and leadership that comes from this too. So definitely the light at the end of the tunnel there for you. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is love. So anything related to love, think family, friends, relationship, children, anything that you associate with love, Pisces. The first card that we have is the Magician. The Magician is a card of turning your visions into reality. It's very focused, it's very creative. On this card, you see we have the infinity sign, we have a cup, a pentacle, a sword, a wand. It's like you have it all. You could do it all. You can have whatever you want. So let's say you are hoping for a baby. This is saying you will get a baby. If you're hoping for a relationship, you'll get a relationship. If you're hoping for engagement or marriage, you can absolutely have that. So whatever you want as it relates to love, you have the ability to create for yourself there, Pisces. The next card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. These traits are you. You've had those traits come up twice now. So not only are you hardworking as it relates to money and finances, you also have really strong and positive relationship traits as well. So I do see you working hard for a relationship. You're being very honest. You're being very patient. This is like saying you're doing all the right things as it relates to a relationship, Pisces. Then our next card is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a very fast-paced lifestyle change. So something as it relates to love is going to happen quickly. Maybe an engagement will happen quickly. Marriage will happen quickly. Maybe you cancel your wedding and elope instead. Maybe you find out you're pregnant very quickly. We've had a handful of pregnancy cards in here. But definitely a fast lifestyle change as it relates to love. You could also be like moving in with each other perhaps sooner than you thought you would. But quick change there. The next card that we have, or clarifying card we have, excuse me, our first clarifying card is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card of worry. It has a lot of different meanings, but in some cases, it's like you're worrying about something. You're worried that you might not be able to get pregnant, or you're worried you'll never get engaged or married, or you'll never find somebody. But this is like saying that you can have whatever you want. So I hope that you can put some of these love worries to rest. Maybe you're worried a relationship's going to work out. But again, you can turn whatever your visions are into reality with that Magician card. So be focused on what you want so you can obtain that, Pisces. The next card we have is the Nine of Swords. This is also a card of worry. You see this person is like sitting up in bed, worried to the point. I think at some point in time things were taking longer than you expected with this Knight of Pentacles card, because this is a card of patience. So there's like something time related that you've been worried about. But again, the Magician is saying you can have whatever you want. And if it does, there is a time worry. We have the Knight of Swords at the bottom, which is again that very fast-paced change. So I wouldn't be worried about time. I wouldn't be worried about anything as it relates to love, actually. Then at the bottom here, we have the Empress card. This is a wonderful card of creation and abundance. Again, you can create whatever you want. You have 2 cards telling you that now. This is also a wonderful card for pregnancy and fertility. So again, if you want to have babies, this is a good baby month for you going into the end of April. Now let's take a look at our 5th and final column, Pisces, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry in to the end of April with us. We have the card Moderation. Moderation is a really good card. We should do everything in moderation. Exercise, eating, hanging out with our friends, having alone time. Moderation is like one of the main keys to success, so we'll see what messages come with that, but moderation is a really good practice in all aspects of life. The first card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is very curious. It is a card of like gossip or seeking truth. When I see this card, I always kind of warn people to like stay away from gossip, stay away from the drama. Typically, it's best serving you to avoid. But you could be finding out truth on something as well, truth that's going to enable you to do something well. Maybe also gossip, engage in drama and moderation as well. Solid practice there. We do have the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an Ace card, Ace cards are cards of newness. In the case of the Ace of Wands, this is typically a new project, inspiration, urge to create. So do keep that in mind. There seems to be something new that's coming in to the horizon here. Again, this truth could be leading you to something new. We'll clarify this column, of course. Then we have the Eight of Wands. This is a card of speed, action, quick change, news arriving. So there definitely is like truth or news coming out that's going to be taking you to this new path. Not quite sure exactly what that means. I'm sure that will resonate more closely with you, but let's clarify this last column. We have the Hierophant. We have the Hierophant earlier as well. This is a very traditional, conventional, a card of expectations and conformity. Again, best practice is to avoid the gossip, avoid the water cooler talk, avoid the drama. But for those of you that have news coming in, this news is like going to exceed your expectations. Like this is going to be something that you didn't know was possible. The next card that we have is the Two of Pentacles. This is quite clearly saying you're going to have the choice to take this new path or not. Of course, I encourage you to do that. But it's like you are going to get to a turning point here where you're going to go down path A or path B. So definitely a decision as it relates to this Ace of Wands new opportunity. And then at the bottom here we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card of a necessary transition. In some cases it is moving or physically relocating, so some of you could be moving or relocating. But again, this is the card of news coming in, action and change with the Eight of Wands, and then we have another card saying that there will be a transition. So definitely some sort of change, opportunity, shift coming for you as we go into the end of April as well, Pisces. Now at this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Jack of Hearts. This is number 22 card. That's going to be a yes for you. Question number 2 is the Four of Spades. This is number 49 card. That's going to be a no. And then question number 3 is the Two of Diamonds, the number 18 card. That's going to be a yes. So we have yes, no, yes for you, Pisces. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you throughout the month of April. You had citrine. Citrine gives you a new lease on life. It helps with self-worth. It gives you joy in life. It gives you courage to follow new paths. Also a great crystal for manifesting and a money crystal. Last but not least, I guess you can have that one. We have our healing notes deck. We usually pull a card from our healing notes, but we'll just give you this one that fell out. It said, walk gently, breathe peacefully, and laugh joyfully. Thank you so much, Pisces, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me greatly. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you, Pisces, and have a wonderful rest of your April.